My name is Chris. I'm the CEO of Pride in London. I've been with Pride in London since 2016, starting off as a volunteer and eventually joining the board in 2018. In 2021, I became the executive director. And then in 2022, I joined the organization full-time as CEO. I enjoy Pride and really looking at Pride in London, I didn't see anyone that looked like myself. And eventually I thought, well, hey, if I don't see anyone that looks like me, I think I might have joined myself. And that's exactly what I did, jumping on board as a volunteer. Pride is a ginormous event. There are approximately 165 volunteers that work on this year round. It takes us about 9 months to really get to the event that you see on the day. We work with city agencies in planning the event, everything from security to parade management, right down to some of the catering and food that you would see on the footprint as well. But it's about working with the ginormous amount of groups that we have in the parade, over 500, making sure that they're informed, making sure the community understand what's happening, but also bringing London to life, so making sure that Londoners feel very much a part of what's happening on Pride. Pride in London started as a protest as a result of what we saw in the US with the Stonewall riots. And today it still remains a protest, but also it's a celebration as well, celebrating a lot of the victories that we've had, from same-sex marriage to the abolition of Section 28. The importance of this event is significant because it gives us the opportunity to really be visible on the day, to be united as a community, and really use our voice to show the equality that we have and that the equality that we're still fighting for. It's important for people to understand where Pride rose from. And so when we talk about a protest, it's about understanding those activists who paved the way, not just in the UK, but globally, understanding some of the important points along the journey. So whether or not that's same-sex marriage and the victories that we had there, whether or not it's talking about the AIDS crisis and how that impacted us as a community, and what we see from the remnants of that today. It's also about looking at those issues that happened as a result of the Stonewall riots and how that movement grew and how that movement influenced prides around the world. We have prides in many major cities today that are really, either celebrating, protesting, or a combination of both. This global broadcast presents an opportunity for people here in the UK that may not want to be on the streets today because they're not out to their family, they're not out at work, they're not out in their church, or they're not out in their community. This gives them that glimmer of hope of what it is to celebrate. But also, if we look at it from a global perspective, it gives those countries where they may not be able to be out and express themselves the way that they want to. They may be under the threat of violence or death. But this broadcast is really a beacon of hope for those countries around the world where they're not able to celebrate being themselves. It gives them the opportunity to see the full diversity and scope of what's happening in London, the communities that are represented here in Pride today, representation, whether or not that's gender expression, sexualities, ethnicity, religion. It's all here today on the streets of London, celebrating as one, united in voice. So many times I get asked, what does Pride mean to me? And Pride is personal to everyone, but for me, it's about being authentic. It's about being able to celebrate who I am, living authentically, being celebrated by my friends and family, being visible as a Black gay man. And I think that's important because sometimes we're erased from the history, erased from prides. So being here today, being able to celebrate in the role of CEO is, for Pride in London, is just a magnificent opportunity. It's a privilege, and it's great to be able to represent a lot of the marginalized voices that are not able to celebrate Pride around the world. We have a long journey ahead of us. The Pride movement it evolves. The Pride platform is important because it continues to put us in a visible position. We're here today, particularly as we look at what Pride in London is celebrating in terms of its campaign, We Are Everywhere. So it's really saying to the world, it's saying to London that we as a community, we stand tall, we stand proud, we stand authentic, we continue to be ourselves. We power not just the city of London, but other cities around the world. And I think it's important to recognize that we are everywhere.